Chapter 408. Fang Yuan regains consciousness. Translator, Chibi General Editor, Chibi General. Fang Yuan slowly opened his eyes. All he saw before him was a blur pink color. As his vision gradually returned, he saw a thin silk curtain. A light wind blew. The chimes rang. The light pink curtain slowly swayed, making it feel like a dream or illusion. Fang Yuan slowly got up from his bed. This round bed was extremely large. 40 to 50 people could fit on it. A silk blanket that was red on the bottom with golden rims was covering his body. Fang Yuan looked around and found himself in a large bedroom. There was a stove beside the bed, burning some incense. There was a fragrance that arouses people's feelings in the air. This room was made with golden brick walls. Silver bricks were used on the ground. Beside the bed, the corners of the room, tables and chairs, dressing table, all of them had large amounts of pearls, agate, diamonds, and all sorts of precious gems. The room was grand and elegant, luxurious and glorious. The affluence of the previous owner was emanating in the room. This was Hu Immortal's Donghun Palace. "It is a gentle home," Fang Yuan commented lightly, getting down from his bed. His body shook uncontrollably, as his brain was still dizzy. Fang Yuan did not find it strange. Instead, he understood clearly this was because he had forced himself too much back on Sansha Mountain. Binding Bing's betrayal, the pressure from the two factions, and he even had to scheme against the land spirit. First refining second aperture, then refine the fixed immortal travel goo in the torrential light stream. The entire process was accompanied by the mental pressure of taking a risky gamble. To Fang Yuan, be it his body or mind, they had reached their limits. When he used the fixed immortal travel goo to arrive at Donghun Mountain, Feng Jin Huang and Fang Zhang were at their limits. But so was he. Compared to them, Fang Yuan's mental pressure was greater. Spring-autumn cicada could no longer be used, and he had snatched the Hu Immortal inheritance right in front of the 10 sex Gu Immortals. He was trying to pull the teeth out of a tiger, like playing with fire. It was an extremely dangerous move. Fang Yuan was the first to ascend the mountain, and the land spirit chased the other competitors away. After Fang Yuan officially became the Blessed Land's owner, he ordered the land spirit to close the entire Blessed Land. After instructing the land spirit with a few key points, Fang Yuan relaxed at a safe area, falling asleep instantly. "Just how long did I sleep?" Fang Yuan shook his head. He still felt extremely tired. There was a sense of weakness coming from his soul. At the same time, his ears were buzzing, as his brain could not think as quickly as normal. It was difficult to process questions in his head. "Oh no, I injured my soul." Fang Yuan's heart sank, sensing his condition was not looking good. The main reason became of the immortal goo refinement. Were immortal goo so easily to refine? Many goo immortals would suffer a backlash when making a mistake while attempting to do so. Injured at best, death at worst. Fang Yuan used a mortal's body to refine an immortal goo. The main reason was because the recipe was good, originating from Renzu's tales. Secondly, the materials used were appropriate. Focused on the divine travel goo, looking from another angle, it was simply converting divine travel goo into fixed immortal travel goo. It was not like in Fang Yuan's previous life, where he used a large number of mortal goo to refine the immortal goo spring-autumn cicada. Turning from mortal to immortal, the difficulty was 100-fold. Even so, the foundation of my soul was too weak and got injured. But thankfully, this is Donghun Mountain. Thinking so, Fang Yuan's expression turned solemn, as he said lightly, "Where is the land spirit?" Swoosh! Hu Immortal Land Spirit appeared before him. "Master, you are finally awake." Hu Immortal lowered her head. Her face was red as she looked at her feet, speaking in a meek tone. She had the appearance of a 5 to 6-year-old girl. She was cute and young, with a colorful dress and a snow-white foxtail behind her, swaying to express her unease. "Master, when you were sleeping, I acted on my own accord and healed the injury on your left arm. I wanted to bring you clothes, but what we have here are not your size," Hu Immortal Land Spirit reported. The clothes she mentioned was Hu Immortal's clothing. They were women's clothing. Of course, Fang Yuan could not fit in them. Fang Yuan frowned. Clothing is not important. How long have I slept? During this period, did any strong enemies attack the Blessed Land? Hu Immortal's eyes were large and shining, blinking. Master, during the 7 days you were asleep, nobody attacked. Oh, Fang Yuan's eyes shone. He did not know that immortal crane sects He Feng Yang defended him, blocking the assault of the other 9 sects. But he understood somewhat why no Gu immortals attacked the Blessed Land. Hu Immortal Blessed Land was not like the 3 kings' blessed land on Sancha Mountain. This blessed land was still very young. It had a land spirit and ample immortal essence storage, and even Donghun Mountain as the core protection of the Blessed Land. These 3 elements made Hu Immortal Blessed Land as secure as a fortress. Most Gu immortals had no way to force their way in. How hard was it to attack this blessed land? Fang Yuan knew most clearly. 500 years into his past life, he allied with almost 10 demonic Gu immortals, invading this place. Eventually, he had a narrow victory. Only he and Song Zhong were left. Song Zhong was the son of Song Zixing, a rising star of the demonic path. He has not been born yet. Back then, I was already a senior of the demonic path. Song Zhong inherited his father's inheritance, gaining great strength, and was able to fight with me for tens of rounds without a winner emerging, causing him to rise to fame from that battle. Thinking of his past life, being used as a stepping stone for this junior Song Zhong, Fang Yuan snickered continuously. Everything's changed now. I'll find a chance to kill Song Zixing. Heh. Let's see how you'll come into this world. Song Zixing had one part of the Blood Sea inheritance. It was the ancient desolate beast, violent blood dragon bat. This dragon bat is not a goo worm. It can be captured and taken away. With the violent blood dragon bat, I will gain an endless number of blood bats. Manipulating blood bats was one of my greatest skill in my previous life. Of course, that is a plan for the future. Now I have to rely on this blessed land to cultivate quickly, getting back to my Gu immortal stage. Thinking so, Fang Yuan thought of an important question. Land spirit, how long more till the next earthly calamity? Master, I was about to inform you if you did not ask me. Right now, the blessed land has already endured 5 earthly calamities. The 6th is a year and 3 months away. Hu Immortal's voice was filled with anxiety and worry. What? A year and 3 months? Fang Yuan jumped up from his bed, unable to sit any longer, his face turning grim. Everything exists in balance. Heaven is impartial. Strength comes with weakness. Blessing comes with calamities. Blessed lands have calamities and tribulations. An earthly calamity every 10 years, and a heavenly tribulation every 100 years. Not mentioning the heavenly tribulation, but just the earthly calamity. Once it occurs, the might is overwhelming, often causing great disasters. If the blessed land cannot endure it, they will face destruction. Fang Yuan had a blessed land in his previous life. He was extremely clear of the danger of his current situation. To a blessed land, every earthly calamity is a strict test. Earthly calamities get stronger than the one before. Hu Immortal died in the 5th, and Fang Yuan was about to face the even stronger 6th calamity. There are only a year and 3 months left to the earthly calamity. Why was it not mentioned in Feng Jinhuang's biography? That's right, she is a disciple of Spirit Affinity House. Her parents are both Gu immortals. With their help, it is not hard to block the earthly calamity. But to me, this is a grave situation. The 6th calamity is coming too quickly. Even with Fang Yuan's experience, he would not have time to make ample preparations. Other than that, he still had to guard against external enemies. Under everyone's watchful eye, I snatched Hu Immortal Blessed Land. Although the 10 sects have not made a move, they are surely waiting to pounce on me. I understand now, the 10 sects are waiting for the earthly calamity and want to make use of it. Once the earthly calamity descends, the land spirit will have to face it with everything she had. She would not have time to take care of this master. Fang Yuan was still rank 4 upper stage. He was easy to target. Once he dies, the blessed land would be ownerless, and the land spirit will have to find a new master. If the earthly calamity causes a huge loophole, Gu masters outside would be able to enter at will. If the 10 sects find trouble then, it would add on to his problems, and the situation would certainly turn deadly. Fang Yuan's gaze shone. Because his soul was injured, it caused his head to hurt. He rearranged his scattered thoughts and breathed out deeply, deciding, I'll take a look at the situation, make the best preparations for this earthly calamity. If I fail, I will give up the blessed land and order it to self-destruct, not giving the righteous path any resources for free, then escape using fixed immortal travel Gu. Although the blessed land was good, how could it compare to his safety? With such a thought, Fang Yuan called the land spirit to bring him outside. He needed to know more about the blessed land now. Yes, land spirit nodded obediently, but hesitantly added, Master, you do not like clothes? Actually, wearing nice clothing would make one feel more energized, and you will feel happier too. Fang Yuan. The dresses in Donghun Palace was not for Fang Yuan to wear, but he had stored some spare clothing inside the Tusita flower. After changing into a black robe, Fang Yuan followed the land spirit, going up on the stairs and reaching the mountain peak. Donghun Montaigne's winds were very strong, but land spirit waved her hand and it turned into a soothing breeze. Master, this blessed land has 4,000 square kilometers of land. The flow of time is 5 times. The 4,000 square kilometers of land is mostly grassland. The grass is made up of blue degree grass, water chestnut grass, and 6 divine grass primarily. There are also 7 treasure flowers and milk tea flowers, etc. The land spirit introduced as she drew a virtual image, floating in the air for Fang Yuan to see. In the image there was a classic grassland with all sorts of colors, like a grass carpet right before him. The blue and poisonous blue degree grass, the chestnut-shaped water chestnut grass, 6 divine grass which looked like 6 thin leaves with the feeling of jade, and also the 7-colored 7 treasure flower, the cup-shaped milk tea flower filled with nectar that were like milk tea. With these 7 as the main, there were also a lot of weed and wildflowers. Fang Yuan looked as he nodded. Do not look down on these grass and flowers. They are cultivation resources. These 7 types of grass and flowers were Gu refinement ingredients. Some of the flowers and grass even has wild Gu worms. With 4,000 square kilometers worth of land, compared to Earth, that was 1.5 Hong Kong added together. How many Gu would there be in total? These wild Gu worms were extremely easy to catch. With just a command from Fang Yuan, the land spirit would be able to capture them intact and hand it over to Fang Yuan.